Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss what happens when senses are failed. Just see an example of a vehicle. If a car is going, the brake uses for driving in a right direction. But when the brakes fail, then that brake becomes the cause of the accident. Similarly, when the senses fail in their execution, that makes the person commit a wrong thing. Let's see Lord Krishna what he speaks regarding this in the Bhagavad Gita. In 2.67, Krishna speaks to Arjuna, Indriyanam hi charatam yan mano anuvidhyate tadasya harati pragya Bayur Navam Ivam Vasi. A beautiful example Lord Krishna gives here, like a sailboat which uses the wind power to go in a direction in the sea, but sometimes if the wind flow in an unfavorable way, in a turbulent wind, that obstruct the direction of the ship and it takes in another direction. Although it uses sometimes to go in a right direction, but because it's turbulent and unfavorable, it takes the ship in a different direction. Similarly, when the senses are not in control and it uses to do something wrong thing, attracted to wrong act, that time that senses indriyanam charatam, when the senses goes, yan mano anuvidyate, the mind also anuvidyate, it follows the senses. Then what happens? Tadasya harati pragyan, that stills the intelligence, and mind attracts the intelligence. And when the intelligence is gone, that means the person commits a wrong thing, although we don't want to do. The main thing begins is from the senses. When the senses are used in a wrong way, then it takes the everything. Let's take example of few living entity where I will tell you, because of the one sense they get trapped. So we'll begin from the eye. When a power cuts, you put lit a candle on. At that time what happens? So many insects come and they directly rush into the fire and they die because of the sense of eye. Let's take the example of the ear. To capture a deer, what the hunter does, he sounds a beautiful flute sound, and because of the flute sound, the deer rushes towards that place and the hunter captures that. Let's take an example of that nose. For the nose, the bumblebee is very famous. The bumblebee goes and sits on a lotus flower to smell the fragrance, but he failed to notice when the sun sets, the lotus closes and he dies inside that. When the next day the sun rises, the lotus open, all found that the bumblebee died inside that because of the strong power of the smell. And for the power of the tongue, fish is the example. To capture a fish, the person put a bait and he put that hook inside. As soon as the fish sees the worm, directly rushes to eat it, but she fails to notice that there is something else inside that, there is a death nail inside that, and the fish dies. And for the example of the skin, elephant is the example. To capture a he elephant, the hunter trains a sea elephant, and the sea elephant comes and attracts the he elephant, and the hunter makes a nice dig and nights a hole, and he puts some leaves on and covers the surface of that hole. And the sea elephant was trained in such a way that sea elephant brings that he elephant and he makes in such an arrangement the sea elephant that the he elephant falls in that dig, and then the hunter captures such a big giant elephant. Just see all this example whatever I given, in these animals one senses are active. Because of the one sense is active, they lose their life. And just imagine, what is that living entity where all five senses are active? None other than we ourselves. Human being is the species where all five senses are active. Just imagine what is the dangerous situation we have. That is why it is told that we should not let any senses to wander. We should engage all five senses in the service of the Lord. Eye should be used in seeing the darshan of the Lord. Ear should be used to hear the Lord's glories, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Nose should be used to smell the flower and tulasi offered to the Lord. Tongue should be used for tasting the prasadam of the Lord, and the touch should be used to do the deity worship of the Lord. When all these five senses are engaged in Lord's service, then there is no chance that a person commits something wrong and goes in a wrong direction, and the person goes in the right direction of his life. Hare Krishna.